Hello, it's story time with your host, me, Cameron. Today's story is the story of the prodigal son, and I've put together some images to help you follow along, but as always, I can only draw chickens, so that's what the images are gonna be. Just roll with it. There was once a father who had 2 sons. Aw, just a happy chicken family. It's nice. One day, the father was, surveying his land, looking over all he had, just counting all of his blessings, thankful for his 2 wonderful sons, when the younger son came, pretty harsh, at his dad and said, "I wish you were dead, fried, rotisseried, gone. I want my inheritance money and I want it now." Whew, this was a tough blow for old Daddy Chicken. The father thought about it for a moment and agreed. Take half of everything. It's yours. You can take it right now. And the younger son, he was happy that he had half of everything his father owned, and he took it and he went off to a far off land and he started living like a party animal, a crazy person, just doing the worst stuff, partying on tables, buying friends, staying out after 10 o'clock. That's right, 10 o'clock, because he's a chicken. Actually, in the real story, it was much worse than that. The younger son was living totally contrary to everything his father would have wanted for him, and it was not sustainable, and we're about to see why in just a second. There was a famine in the land. No food, no nothing. All the pizza was gone. His money was gone. He ran out of funds. All of his friends left because they were just there for the money. All of his food was gone, so he was just hungry. So he decided, I need to get a job. I need to do something. I have to eat. So he went to a local farmer and he begged him, please, sir, let me eat some food. Let me work for you and earn something. And the farmer graciously agreed. He told him that he could go out and feed the pigs. A chicken feeding pigs. That's silly. But as the chicken was feeding the pigs, he looked down at that bucket of slop and he thought, oh man, this slop looks pretty good. Must eat slop. But again, this was not a chicken, this was a human, which makes this even grosser. While he was contemplating eating that slop instead of feeding the pigs, he had a thought that came to his mind. My father has servants in his house that eat way better than this. They live way better than this. They're not having to sleep outside with pigs and feed them. What if I go back home and beg my father to let me be one of his servants? Man, this was troublesome for him because he basically went up to his dad and said, I wish you were dead. Give me my money now. But it was kind of his only option at this point. So he made his way back home. The Bible says that while the younger son was still a long way off, the father saw him. The father started rejoicing. He was so excited that his son was home that he took off running towards his son. And he got to him and he wrapped him up in a big old hug, and he was so happy that his son was home. And the younger son tried to launch into this speech that he had rehearsed of wronging his dad and wanting to be a servant, but the father wouldn't hear anything of it. He said, put a robe on this kid, put my rings on his fingers, put my sandals on his feet, or, in this case, put the bunny slippers on his feet, because again, we're limited by what I can draw here. The younger son was home and they celebrated. They were so happy that he was back. They threw a party. The pizza was back in stock. People came in for the party. They were celebrating, but there was still another brother, and he was not as happy as his father was to see his younger brother home. He was pointing fingers, or, feathers. And he was just saying, this guy ruined everything. He took half the inheritance. I've been here the whole time. I've never once left you. I've never done wrong, and you haven't thrown me a single party. He was getting pretty upset. But the father had to just sit there and remind him, your brother was lost, but now he's found. Your brother was dead, but now he is alive again. This is so worth celebrating. It's worth our time. It's worth our pizza. It's worth everything, because your brother has come back to the family, and we're one family again. And that is the story of the prodigal son, as told with chickens, by me, your host, Cameron.
what you want, 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 what you do unto others what you want them to do unto you. That's the golden rule. Do unto others what you want them to do unto you. That's the golden rule. There's a lot of rules in this life today. Many regulations you might could say, like a whole lot of laws that you gotta obey, or rules to a game like croquet. But hey, what about you and me? How do we treat fellow human beings? Glad you asked, see Jesus said it. It's in the Bible, yeah you might have read it. An answer to the question, what should I do? Or how should I respond when someone's being a goose? It's easy to remember, a simple how-to. It's even got a catchy name, the golden rule. Do unto others what you want them to do unto you. That's the golden rule. Do unto others what you want them to do unto you. That's the golden rule. Alright, let's blow some minds. How should I act if someone cuts in line? Do unto others what I want them to do unto me. Now I see. So maybe let it go or speak my mind. But I bet I might wanna be spoken to kind. Oh, here's a new example to try. There's one slice of pizza left in the pie. I look at my bro, he wants it, I know. If I were him, would I want me to leave the slice alone? Yeah, I think so. Golden rule every day, it's the way to go. Do unto others what you want them to do unto you. That's the golden rule. Do unto others what you want them to do unto you. That's the golden rule.
Hey, I'm Cameron.
And I'm Roman.
Today we're learning about the parable of the sower. Roman, do you know what a parable is?
Yeah, totally. Actually in my research, it's debated, but if I had to give a definition, I'd say a simple story used to illustrate a moral or a spiritual lesson as told by Jesus in the Gospels.
Yeah, I can clearly see you're Googling that on your phone.
I don't know what you're talking about. I don't have a phone.
You just put it in your pocket. Cameron here with my brother Roman, and we're talking about the parable of the sower.
Yeah, we are. See, I've got my needle, I've got my thread, and I stayed up all night watching how-to video tutorials. So now it's time to make a pair of pants!
Oh, Roman, you deeply misunderstand. You see, we're talking about the story of the farmer sowing or planting seeds in a field.
So we're not making pants?
No, Roman.
Please don't look down.
Don't look... What?
Ah! Hey Cameron, what is the parable of the sower?
Oh, I thought you'd never ask. You see, a farmer was planting seeds in his field, but they fell on different kinds of soil. So some seeds took root and grew, but others were choked out by weeds, died because of shallow soil, or eaten by birds.
Well, you know what I always say, never trust a bird.
You've never said that once.
I started always saying it just now. Never trust a bird.
Okay.
You're not getting my crops, birds!
You have crops? In the parable of the sower, the farmer planted a lot of seeds.
What happened to all those seeds?
Well, some fell on fertile soil, and some fell by thorns that choked out the plant.
You know, I wrestled in high school. They called me the Thorn, on account of how I always choked out my opponents.
You didn't wrestle in high school.
Shh, shh. It's all right. The Thorn strikes again.
In the parable of the sower, some seed took root and produced 30, 60, and even 100 times as much as had been planted.
Say, that's a pretty good business model.
It is one of the world's oldest professions.
You think it would work with other stuff?
I mean, I guess, yeah. Where are you going?
Turns out if you plant French fries, you lose 100% of your crop every time.
Yeah, you have to plant seeds.
I'm never gonna financially recover from this.
What are you doing?
Just sowing seeds like the guy in the parable.
The guy in the parable threw his seeds onto soil.
Soil! I knew I was forgetting something.
What are we gonna do with all these seeds now?
Well, if our parable has taught me anything, the birds will be coming for these soon. I'm gonna head out before that starts. Never trust a bird.
We're inside. Oh boy. Roman, wait for me. Jesus used parables to teach super important truths.
Like the parable of the sower.
Exactly.
To recap, a farmer went out to plant some seeds. As he scattered them across the field, some seeds fell on the footpath, and the birds came and ate them.
Other seeds fell on shallow soil with rocks underneath, so the seeds sprouted up quickly but wilted because the soil was too shallow. The sun burned them up, and since they didn't have deep roots, they died.
Oof, that's rough. Other seeds fell among thorns that grew up and got choked out, like I did to Cameron earlier.
Even though a lot of seed was stopped from growing, other seeds fell on fertile soil, and they produced crops that were 30, 60, and even 100 times as much as was planted.
Parables like these are designed to make you think.
Right, and this one teaches that sharing Jesus with others is a lot like sowing seed.
Yeah, and our job is to just keep sharing, like the sower planting seeds through our words and actions toward others.
Sometimes it'll take root, and other times it won't, but our job is the job of the farmer. Keep planting seeds.
When we do that, there will be fruit.
That's what the parable of the sower is all about.
Well, Cameron, I think I really learned something here today.
Yeah?
Sowing to make pants and sowing to make plants are two totally different things.
That's all you learned?
This is Jesus. You know, the Son of God who came down to earth, lived a life without sin, and taught people all about God's kingdom. He's the best. When he was 30, he started his ministry on earth, traveling, teaching, and performing some truly jaw-dropping miracles. Wait, what's a miracle anyway? Well, miracle is like something that can't be explained or done by normal humans, an act of God that shows his power and love. Here, let me show you what I mean with some of the coolest times that Jesus did the impossible. Okay, first, picture a house that's so crowded you can't even step inside. Jesus is teaching, and a bunch of friends are determined to get their paralyzed buddy to him. They can't squeeze in, so they tear open the roof and lower him down. Everyone gasps, waiting to see what Jesus will do. He looks at the man and says, "Your sins are forgiven. Get up and walk." And guess what? The man is instantly healed. He jumps up, picks up his mat, and walks out. Amazing. Jesus has power over all sickness and all brokenness. But he doesn't just handle the outer issues, he goes to the inside first, after our heart, forgiving sin. That's real power. Okay, next, imagine being on a boat in the middle of a wild storm. Lightning flashes, wind howls, and waves slam into the sides of the boat. It's pretty crazy. The disciples are panicking, and Jesus has just taken a nap. They shout, "Lord, help us, we're gonna drown." Jesus stands up, speaks to the wind and waves, and says, "Peace, be still." Instantly, the storm stops. All of creation obeys Jesus' voice. His authority isn't just limited to sickness, he reigns over all of nature. Pretty sweet. Okay, next we're on a hillside, and there's a massive crowd that followed Jesus there. They've been listening all day to him teach, but now they're starving. They didn't bring any food. The disciples are like, we can't possibly feed all these people. But then a boy steps up with his lunch, just 5 loaves of bread and 2 fish. Jesus takes it, blesses it, and starts handing it out. Suddenly, there's enough food to feed 5,000 men, plus all the women and kids there too, with baskets of leftovers to spare. Whoa. And finally, one of the biggest miracles. Jesus had a friend named Lazarus who died several days before Jesus could get there. Everyone was totally heartbroken. But Jesus shows death who's the boss. He goes right up to the tomb and calls out, "Lazarus, come forth." Suddenly, out steps Lazarus, alive and well, leaving everyone's jaws on the floor. Not even death is too strong for Jesus. He has power over every form of brokenness, and with a word, he can bring hope where we see none. You see, that's just a few glimpses of what Jesus did. We'd be here for forever talking about everything he's done. And it's easy to think that these miracles are just cool stories, but they're so much more than that. Every amazing, seemingly impossible, mind-blowing miracle from God reminds us of something pretty cool. The authority over everything, nature, sickness, sin, even death itself, belongs to the King of Kings and our friend forever, Jesus.
Eggward goes to camp. Here I am at Kindness Camp, a summer camp where everyone is kind. Smell that fresh forest air. Hear the birds. I'm gonna go on a hike and...
Hey, you, get in line with the rest of the campers.
Who, me?
Did I stutter? I said, get in line with those other campers.
But wait a minute, I'm here for Kindness Camp. You must be in charge of the mean guy who yells at you camp.
I am Sergeant Kindness, and this is my camp, where I will turn you into a kind, loving, generous, thoughtful, and all-around swell guy like me. Now, what do you have to say about that?
I think I made a mistake.
Now, drop and give me compliments.
Okay. I like your shoes.
Thank you very much.
You have nice hat.
It was a gift from my daddy.
You smell nice.
It's lavender sunset. Okay, that's enough. Now, for your kindness training, you will go through rigorous exercises of kindness, such as... Craft something for your mom.
There you go, Mom. It's a blanket for really hot weather.
Write me a thank you note.
Dear Sarge. Way to Sarge! From Edward.
Notice something different about my personal appearance.
You have changed your mustache.
Why, yes, I have.
Looks good.
Offer to carry something heavy. Spend quality time with me.
You're listening to the sounds of nature.
This is nice.
Uh-huh. All right. Now take a rest over there with the other campers.
What other campers? There's no one over there. It's just you and me.
Yeah, well, no one else stuck around.
Well, it's because you're not being kind to them. You're just yelling and you're not listening, and being kind is all about putting others first.
Oh, I know. I just love kindness so much. I just get carried away.
Well, real kindness is loving someone even when they make bad choices. And First Corinthians 13 says, love is patient. Love is kind. So maybe be more kind in your love of being kind or something.
I knew I liked you. You're all right.
Thank you.
Now be kinder. Now get those feet a marching. We got a lot of miles to cover.
Okay.
1, 2, I'll be kind to you. 3, 4, let me get that door. 5, 6, give a gift. 7, 8, you look great. 9, 10, let's be friends.
It's time for Will It Burn? Whoa! On today's episode of Will It Burn, we're looking at a story from the Old Testament in the book of 1 Kings about a guy named Elijah and the prophets of Baal.
Ooh, so here's how it went down. We got Elijah on one side. We got 450 prophets of Baal on the other side. And Elijah challenges them to a classic showdown.
Whoever's God burns up their sacrifice with fire from heaven is the one true God.
The prophets of Baal go first, and they're like, please, Baal, burn up our sacrifice, please, please.
And and while all this is happening, Elijah's just like, maybe your God's on vacation. Maybe he's in the bathroom, maybe just sitting back doing one of these.
prophets of Baal, they're embarrassed because their God doesn't show.
And then Elijah was like, all right, my turn. Let's raise the stakes a little bit. Get a bunch of water, douse it.
And he digs a trench around the sacrifice and says,
More
fill
water,
her up.
more water, more water. And then finally he's like, all right, I think we're ready to do this. Dear God, fire! Whoa! Are they still there?
Yeah. Your eyebrows are fine.
What we're gonna do today is test just how crazy of a miracle that was, because we've never tried to light a wet sacrifice. That's ridiculous.
I know, and we can't really, make fire fall down from heaven.
True.
But we can test the part where the sacrifice was wet and it got lit on fire and disappeared.
Yeah. So step 1, grab some stones for our altar.
Step 2, chop some wood.
Step 3, the sacrifice. Roman.
That was on me. I was supposed to bring the sacrifice. That was on my to-do list, buy animal to sacrifice.
Yeah.
But I did not do that. I
Rats.
forgot. Step 4, find a suitable sacrifice substitute.
Step 5, dump water on that suitable sacrifice substitute.
And step 6, light it on fire!
Ah! My mustache still there?
It's fine. But that's a lot of steps. So in order to accomplish it quickly, there's only time for one thing.
Ooh, breakfast.
No, I'm gonna say a montage to do all of them at... All right, well, I'll just do the montage myself. To the woods! Can you get the wood? Cameron! Cameron?
Roman, how many eggs do you want? Hey, Roman.
Where have you been?
I had to make breakfast. What's this?
It's the altar. I built it myself.
Why don't we just use the fire pit over there?
I did not know that was there.
Yeah. You did a good job.
That's all I wanted to hear.
All right, so we're here to test out, will this burn?
So we've got our altar, we've got our sacrifice.
Roman, no. Monroe.
Yeah, I got him out of your car.
Oh.
Yeah. And we've doused the whole thing with a ton of water. And so there's only one thing left to do. Find out, will it burn? Let's do this. Yeah, that didn't burn at all.
Yeah, I guess it was a crazy miracle in the Bible, huh?
It's actually not that surprising. We put a lot of water on that.
True.
You wanna get some breakfast?
I already ate.
Yeah.
I got you, Monroe.
Oh, this is gonna be so great! I finally have some friends, and they picked me to be on their baseball team. And my good friend Majunga is the team captain. He's the best. That means we're gonna win the big game today. I'm so happy.
Oh, hello, Ched.
Majunga, you're saying it wrong. It's Cheddar.
Oh, I know your name, Ched. Achoo!
No, it's Ched.
Achoo! Ched. Achoo! Ched. Achoo! Achoo!
All right, I think you might be doing it on purpose now.
No, I am not. Achoo! I have a achoo. I have a cold. Achoo!
Wait a minute. Did you just say you have a cold?
Yes, achoo! I have a cold, achoo! And it is not on purpose.
Oh, well, you're still gonna play in the big game today, right, Captain?
Wrong, Captain. Achoo!
Captain Achoo?
No, Captain, you. You will have to be captain of the baseball team today, Cheddar. I'm very sick and I cannot play.
What? You can't be serious.
Oh, but I can be Majunga, and Majunga is a sickie. Achoo! Look at me. You are the captain now. Sorry about that.
It's okay. But I can't be captain. I'm too little, and I clearly can't catch.
Well, maybe you will get bigger before the game starts?
What?
Achoo! Sorry, I have to go home and get some medicine. Bye, Captain Cheddar.
No, wait a minute. Don't be sick. I can't be the captain. Oh, we're gonna lose today. I am not happy. This is all so hopeless.
What's hopeless, Cheddar?
Well, Hannah, hopeless is when a situation seems like everything's going wrong and I can't fix it. Like, you have no hope. Hopeless.
I know what hopeless means, but why do you feel hopeless?
Oh, because of everything. My life is ruined. It's like blue cheese. It stinks.
Wait, what's going on?
I'll tell you what's going on. I'm the new baseball team captain.
That's great! Congratulations, Cheddar!
Congratulations, Cheddar! This is terrible news! I've never been a team captain before! I'm afraid, and it's all just so hopeless!
Well, I'm glad I came here today.
Why? Do you know how to be a good team captain?
No, not really, no. But I do know what the Bible says. It says, the Lord is with me. I will not be afraid, in Psalm 118:6.
Ah, yeah, the Lord is with you, see? You should be our new team captain.
No, Cheddar, you can be the captain because the Lord is with you. He's with me, he's with Majunga, he's with all of us who believe in him. You do believe in Jesus, right?
Yeah, sure. Majunga brought me to church, and that's where I learned about Jesus.
That's great. So when we become a part of God's family, he's with us always.
God is with me always?
That's right. Keep saying that out loud when things feel hopeless. It's a great reminder.
God is with me always. Okay, but what about the baseball game today? I have to be the captain, and Majunga's sick. He was our best player, and I don't know if you noticed or not, but I'm pretty small. Kind of tiny even. Not the big cheese, as it were.
That doesn't matter, Cheddar. You might be small and you might be missing a part of your team, but God can still use you. It's a lot like the story in the Bible of Gideon. He felt small too, and a big part of his army was missing. But God used him to win a great battle.
Oh, wow. God did all that for Gideon?
That's right. God was with Gideon when things felt hopeless, and God is with you always.
You know what? You're right. Majunga taught me how to play baseball. I watched him be a captain, and now I know I can do this. With God's help, of course. God is always with me. All right, I gotta go play a game. Bye.
Yeah.
Later that day.
Oh, that was so great. God is with me always, and I'm so happy.
Oh, hello, Cheddar.
Hey, Majunga, you're not sneezing no more.
Oh, yes, and you are not frowning. I guess we are both feeling much better.
Oh, you cheddar believe it. I mean, better believe it. Majunga, we won the game.
Oh, yay. I knew you could do it.
Oh, well, I didn't. I felt hopeless until a good friend of mine reminded me that God is with me always.
Oh, yes, God is with you, and me too. And since we are now the winning team, let us go get some ice cream, Captain.
Oh, that sounds good, Captain. I hope they've got cheesecake ice cream.
This is the story of David and Abselum, and how division among believers can cause big problems.
Hey, I recognize David, the shepherd boy who killed the giant and became king, right?
That's the one.
Okay, but who's the other guy with the weird name? What was it? Abselum? Like, he does a bunch of sit-ups and has a lot of abs?
No, it's Abselum.
Has a block.
Swing and a miss. Okay, say
Ab.
Sa.
Sa.
Lum.
Long.
there you go.
Okay, so who's this Abselum guy?
Well, he was one of David's sons. King David had several sons, and one of them is this guy, Abselum.
Aw, that's nice. I bet his kids were all awesome and perfect.
Not exactly. You see, he pretty much incited a rebellion against his dad and divided the whole kingdom.
Yikes! That's not good. Why'd he do that?
Well, Absalom wanted to do things his way, telling people they should follow and put their trust in him. He was kind of like a slimy politician, shaking hands and kissing babies, and a lot of people listened to Absalom, so he declared himself king, started a rebellion. And this caused a lot of trouble for Israel and broke his father David's heart.
What a bummer. So what did David do?
Well, David had to flee Jerusalem. Imagine that, the king running for his life from his own country. He went far away, weeping and distraught at what was happening. But even in this tough spot, he trusted in God's plan. And then things got really interesting.
What happened next?
David sent someone loyal to him back to Jerusalem to pretend to support Absalom. It was kind of like a top secret spy mission.
Ooh, I love a good spy story. Did he have to wear a disguise? Or jump a motorcycle off a cliff? Or get through a room full of lasers?
No. Remember, this story happened a long time ago. They didn't have lasers back then.
I don't know. Have you seen some of the cuts on the Great Pyramid stones? Doesn't look like Bronze Age tools to me. Just saying.
Anyway, David's plan worked, and he had time to come up with a strategy. Eventually, his forces battled Absalom's rebellion soldiers, and everything was made right, but not after lots of hardship.
So wait, what happened to Absalom?
Kinda crazy, actually. During the battle, Absalom's hair got caught in a tree, and he was left hanging, where he was killed by one of David's soldiers.
Whoa, talk about a bad hair day. That's intense. What did David do when he found out?
David was heartbroken and cried out for his son. He said, "Oh, my son Absalom, if only I had died in your place." It was a sad moment for all of God's people.
Wow, like super sad. Wait, why are you telling me this story again? Kind of a downer, not gonna lie.
True, it's not quite the happily ever after we always want, but we still see something super important through this story. Mark 3:25 sums it up perfectly. A house divided cannot stand.
Yep, that makes sense.
The kingdom of Israel, being divided and full of rebellion, caused some seriously hard times for God's people. So we should always be on guard against division and stay united around following God together.
Totally agree. Together is always better.
Couldn't have said it better myself.
Also, maybe try to avoid bad hair days.
Also true. No bad hair days, no division among believers. Ready, break.
The end.